I think that is missing the point. I mean, I'm sure it's possible that somebody else might have come up with a better algorithm. It wouldn't, frankly, have made any difference to the legitimacy of the process. It's important to remember the actual accuracy of the algorithm. I mean, there's an interesting point that Ofqual pointed out, which is, given that an exam grade is an imperfect estimate of some kind of notional true grade, and given the accuracy of the algorithm, it's quite likely that actually the algorithm was in some sense more accurate than exams. But that's irrelevant, because it's the experience and how you interact with this thing. And so saying, well, it's more accurate wouldn't really fix that. Everyone who got a grade lower than they thought they should have got believed it to be true, and we can't tell which ones were right and which ones are wrong. So they're all equally legitimate in saying you have treated me unreasonably. So I think more accuracy, however done, and it's difficult to do it without them getting into quite questionable practices of personal profiling, and so it's quite hard to do it without becoming invasive. The algorithm was designed effectively to adjust what a teacher's view of the students was, not to try and make an individual student prediction. That's the first point to make. But the second point to make is, a decision that said, well, we are going to allow a higher level of grade inflation, or we're going to allow a mechanism that will enable more people to progress to university, but still use an algorithm to even that out. I mean, that is what happened in Ireland, and it worked. If Ofqual had been set the task of designing an algorithm where there was a decision in advance, well, look, we simply can't just, given that we don't really know who should go to university, we obviously can't tell this many people that they've lost out. If we say, well, look, we're going to address that directly, and then you could build an algorithm that attempted to be fair in the distribution of grades and places on that basis. It wouldn't need to be more sophisticated. It would just be doing something that people would regard as fairer.